This program is sponsored by Dave Stahl.
Don't talk back.
Welcome to YAK Radio, the radio show that's about, well, who knows? It's a different topic every week, but YAK Radio is always full of information to help you and your family get through life. Now here's your YAK Radio host, Dave Stahl.
Don't talk back.
All right, folks, welcome to YAK Radio with Dave Stahl and Britney Sandoval. We've got a fun hour planned for you. Britney has come up with an interesting topic, which really kind of fits today's wonderful world, because nobody ever thinks about military as an after high school career, or even after junior college, or even college.
It's definitely an option.
So tell us who you brought in.
Well, we have Patrick Henry High School's NJROTC.
Okay.
I'm glad we have them for an hour because I want them to share with us not only what the program has to offer. We have a couple cadets. They are seniors, so they can tell us what it has offered specifically to them. But they're headed somewhere for spring break, and it is an honor, and they had to work hard to get there. So I also want the listeners to hear about that. So
all right.
Please welcome Eric Wever, senior instructor, and two cadets, Faith and Lynn.
All right, but it's Commander.
Commander, what did I? Oh, well, sorry.
Do you want her to do push-ups?
Sorry.
I can make that happen.
I'm thinking of the email.
Come on, you can do 20 push-ups. Get down there and knock it out.
He likes being called Eric. I did ask.
Well, that's very nice. So, Eric, how long have you had this program going?
So I've only actually been here since October.
Oh, okay.
The program's been around since 2001.
Okay.
But yeah, I just started here.
So what's the importance of this program? Why would a student look at a program like this?
So our main mission is not to, despite what you might think or your listeners may think, is not to try and get you to go into the military.
Right.
Although, of course, we have kids that are interested in that.
Sure.
But really, we're focused on building community leaders. And as I think these our two cadets here will tell you, that's especially starting as freshmen and going through it from start to finish.
Right.
It really is very successful at doing that.
And the interesting thing is, and I hate to be this way, but I mean, everybody would think anybody was going to be in type of this cadet program, it would be a guy. But they're both young ladies.
And our program is probably more than half, I would say, is females for sure. So and they're all of our leaders are our top leaders right now are all females.
Yeah, I'm thinking about the push-ups. They came out to Lewis Middle School a month or so ago, just because it's an option. They're going through articulation and picking their classes. So they came out to talk about what it offers. And for at least 3 of the periods, there was the challenge with the push-ups, and the same young lady kept beating everybody. It was awesome, and her form was beautiful. Who was that?
Janet. So we have a freshman that is just an amazing athlete and a great student overall.
Right. So, folks, you need to listen to the show because you're going to find it extremely interesting, because other than this, I don't think you've been on much media promoting what you do.
Not at all. Nope. This is brand new. I think we're probably the first unit in San Diego that's done something like this.
And you'll be able to share this with anybody and everybody, because we'll give you the show after Monday, because I think it's important to get the word out. And one of the ways is, like I said, getting on radio, and I'm going to figure out a way to get you on KUSI TV, because you knew that was coming. So let's talk to Faith. Which one's Faith? All right, Faith. So pull your mic over there a little bit. How old are you?
I am currently 18 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when did you first look at this program? How long ago?
I looked at it actually 8th grade during articulation, and a bunch of my friends were going into it. I had no idea what I was expecting at all, but she had a lot of influence. Lynn had a lot of influence on me going into the program, because she had family members that went before her. And so I was like, why not? I mean,
why not?
Yeah, what else are you going to do, right?
Yeah.
Well, and I think that's the beauty of what grade you were in and what your age was, because that's the why not age, if you ask me. Like if somebody asks you, hey, you want to try robotics? Oh, okay, I've never done that before. Let me try it. So you've been in the program since 8th grade?
Since freshman year of high school.
Okay.
But I like to count like the summer thing we did as well, where we kind of got an introduction to what high school it looks like. And,
really?
Yeah. So 8th grade summer, 3 days before our freshman year, we went to Patrick Henry, got to see the campus, got to meet upperclassmen. So I think the beauty of the program is we don't only get to see other freshmen, we get to see seniors, juniors, sophomores, and it builds that kind of like relationship with upperclassmen because going into high school, you're terrified. And so, you know, just being with people like that initially is helped me for
Well, it's almost like joining a club, wouldn't you say?
100%. Yeah. But it's like also having a family.
Right. So, Lynn, since you're the senior of this group, right?
They're both seniors.
We're both seniors.
But I mean, you're the senior one involved in this program.
Yes.
Because you probably know more about it than most. You said some of your family members have gone through this?
Actually, yes. 2 of my older cousins, they were actually both officers, student officers in the program, and they were the ones who convinced me to join.
Okay. So what have you gotten out of the program?
I think I've gotten like a lot out of the program, a lot of leadership experience, I would say. If you told like freshman year Lynn that she would be sitting here talking on a radio show, I think I would have actually cried. But after 4 years in the program, after a lot of leadership experience and opportunities like this, I think I've become a more confident person, a lot more self-esteem and all of that.
Yeah.
They help out in the community. Tell them where you were this morning.
So we were at the hot chocolate 15K
marathon.
Where was it?
It's here in San Diego. It's a yearly race. And it's 15K, 10K.
Okay. So did you have a booth or something?
We basically had aid stations where we helped pass out water and chocolate, candy, and then just made sure that all the runners were staying hydrated.
Yeah, stay hydrated.
And I had been anticipating this event for like a month or a little bit over a month because my first year coming into this as since I was in ROTC, I got the chance to become basically the president of the community service club at school. So then being a sophomore and then going through COVID and then becoming a senior and then trying to try out new things, especially harder classes, community service club, becoming president of that and stuff like that. I was so worried about going outside for an event, but this morning it was so fun. The kids were having so much fun, and I'm pretty sure they're going to want us next year.
Yeah. Well, and there again, and I bet you most of the people that you were with this morning didn't even know who you are or what you're doing.
Not really, no.
Yeah. So are you an officer in this group?
Basically, I'm one of the kids that help run the battalion.
Okay.
There's a lot of us, and she is one of she's basically the highest rank for all of us.
What's your rank?
Go ahead.
So I'm a student officer, so I'm a cadet commander.
Woo, commander!
Yeah.
just like the boss over here.
And Lynn is being very humble here. She's not one of the officers. She runs our unit this semester. So
she runs the whole unit.
She runs the unit. Yeah.
Officially, my title in the battalion, I'm the commanding officer, so I kind of just oversee everything that goes along in the battalion.
Wow. So what book did you have to read to figure that out?
Oh, man, I wish there was a book to tell me. It's, like Faith said, I kind of got dropped into this job during COVID, like my role. So I was announced as the second semester commanding officer, like the end of my junior year. And we were still online then, and I had to figure it out just with my other 2 like main student officers. It was definitely been a journey. I wish we had a guide on how to do it, but even the cadet officers from the prior year, since they were also online, they didn't really get the full experience of how to run it in person.
Sure.
So
Sorry, go ahead.
It's been a learning curve for sure.
What's the number of students we're talking about here?
So in a typical year, we're 160, 170. We are down this year post-COVID, so we've been hovering right about 115.
Okay.
But we should be up.
You're going to probably go back up because you guys came to Lewis. Now more people are going to hear about it and join, hopefully, freshman year.
So we were consistently up at 160, 170. And that's where we should be for our school size.
So, all right, well, let's take a quick break because there's a whole lot more. Unfortunately, got to pay bills because you are listening to YAK Radio with Dave Stahl on FM 96.1 AM 1170.
The Answer.
All right, folks, welcome back to Yak Radio with Dave Stahl, FM 96.1 AM 1170.
The answer.
We're doing a Patrick Henry High School Navy JROTC show today for an hour. Why are we doing this, folks? Well, we're doing it because it's all about the youth. And if we don't give the youth opportunities that they wouldn't normally get, then it makes for a terrible future. So I've always been a ROTC enthusiast. I wasn't aware of junior, and we've got Eric Wever in the house, and I guess you're the instructor?
That's right. So there's three of us actually for a program our size. So
yeah.
Myself, and then we have a Marine First Sergeant, and then a retired Navy Chief also.
That Marine First Sergeant must be a real problem.
He is a...
no, he's not.
We love First Sergeant. And the past two First Sergeants in our program, they have been the most lovable people ever. I love him. He's so funny. And the fact that they're all new this year is incredible because they've all offered something individually for each and every one of us. And I'm like,
Did you see how these two almost jumped across the table?
We better jump over the table.
I'm chopped liver as far as as far as his staff goes.
We love you too, Commander, but
shameless plug on my
something
part.
that before Commander came, we had a kind of shortage of staff, and First Sergeant was the only instructor we had for a while for like 100-something kids.
Wow.
And he basically kind of learned the ropes of ROTC in person with us, so I feel like we have that special place in our hearts for him.
Sure.
Because of that.
Sure. Well, and speaking of a curriculum, now, what part of the day do you dedicate to this program? I mean, is it like one
period? I think he's asking.
Yeah, like one period, 2 periods.
And what's a typical week also?
So there's kind of different ways that you can think about it. There's the ROTC class, which is 1 period a day. We have periods 1, 2, 3, and 5 and 6.
Okay.
You could be placed in any period. It's just like a normal class.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we spend most of the time learning about the Navy, leadership experience, and all of that, and PT, of course. And then the other aspect of it is our competitive team, and we practice an hour in the morning, 2 hours in the afternoon.
And what's in the competition?
So
what do you compete at?
We compete in a competition called the Navy League, and they are drill competitions, athletic competitions, and academic competitions.
Wow.
Is this what you're doing in Florida in 2 weeks? Oh, yeah. So
yes.
Please.
Oh, you get to go to Florida?
How did that come about?
Are you excited?
Very.
Are you walking, driving, or flying?
We are flying, thankfully.
Wow, thankfully.
But you had to earn that spot, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So we're broken up in areas for ROTC, and so we competed against Area 11, which are all the Southern California schools, and Arizona, and there's I think 55 schools altogether that have the competitive programs, and we had to place these. Kids had to place in the top 2 in order to earn a spot out to
right.
So
look, goosebumps.
I know. I just got goosebumps too. That's why I was
furiously fundraising because we have to.
And when do you leave? When do you leave?
March 30th.
Right around the corner.
Jeez Louise.
So what is it that you did to qualify? Like, paint me a picture with your words.
So me personally, I have one of the positions where I'm a team commander basically, and so I get these kids whipped up into shape to be able to do what we do best. And for me, it's drill. It's a drill team, and it's kind of hard to explain. We slap ourselves and we make beats, and it sounds weird, but if you watch videos of it, it's just like a dance routine. So if kids like dance,
it's choreography. It's choreography.
Exactly. Yes.
Minus the music.
Yeah. And
with no music.
Correct.
It's no music. We make our own music, basically.
It's percussion on their body, basically.
Right.
It's the unarmed exhibition team, and so then we've placed consistently top 5 every competition, and so I actually had 8 upperclassmen. 4 of them that were left from previous years.
Okay.
So then it was so difficult because we had to bring 13. And so then the very first competition I did, it scars me to this day. We had 5. And so with every cadet that's gone from the team, you get marked off about 25 points, I believe. So we took a big hit, but
you whipped him into shape.
Yes, we did. And so I basically took her and I basically took 7 freshmen, 1 sophomore that never had any ROTC experience, and we qualified for nationals.
So you stayed up late at night and spent a lot of time, right?
My personal thing was, if we don't have a bond with this team, if we don't get to know these kids for more than themselves as a cadet, like I want to be able to know them after high school, check up on them, tell them like how's it going? Are you also going to nationals? Like how's it like? Yeah. I just personally, for me, I said I want to be able to know these kids. You
wanted to be a mentor.
100%. And I think that's definitely what brought my team together, and we all shared the same goal. And so now
you're going.
We made it. Yeah.
That is awesome. She pushed the mic over to you,
Oh,
Lynn.
yeah. So it's your turn.
It's definitely been lots and lots of hard work. We came off of a really high our sophomore year. We placed first in the area, and we were going to nationals. We placed first at like every competition basically. And we came into the year really doubtful kind of what we could do, especially all of our seniors. We still kind of had the mentality of like, we're sophomores basically still, because missing that entire year. But I think we cut ourselves short a little bit. We definitely had a lot of potential that we didn't see before. And
but you learn from that, don't you agree?
Yes.
You learn from, a lot of it sounds mental.
Yes.
Because if you're not mentally prepared, you could be physically prepared, but if you don't have, like you said, and I think the teamwork is probably one of the most important parts to make sure everybody knows there's no one individual better than the other. We're all together as a team, and the team is what will succeed, and the team will also be the ones that don't. Yes. So if one fails, you all fail, right?
Yes, sir. We have a saying that our armed exhibition team does. It's like one team, one fight, and I think we kind of adopted that just like as our overall Navy League team. We know that we're all in it together.
Sounds like a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Doesn't it sound like a T-shirt? You got to get some T-shirts. One team, one fight.
Oh,
I think,
That'd pay off my Florida ticket.
Right. That's what I was thinking as a fundraiser.
Cool. And speaking of fundraising, I know this is kind of in the middle of the show, but if somebody wanted to help out, what's the best way? We'll talk to Eric because he's probably got all the money.
So the best, unfortunately, we were hoping to have a site up and running, but the best way is just to send a check to the Patrick Henry High School, made out to Patrick Henry High School, and just put NJROTC, and we'll get it.
Okay.
And it's, of course, tax deductible and all that good stuff.
Any amount doesn't make any difference.
Does not matter. Nope. And we've been fundraising, as we've mentioned, nonstop since this, so it's pretty much entirely on. We get a little bit of money from the Navy and a little bit. Actually, we don't get any from the school district, believe it or not.
Well, of course not.
So we.
Nobody buy a lotto ticket. I don't care what anybody says. Don't buy a lotto ticket because it doesn't go to the schools.
But if you just send a check to Patrick Henry High School, we will absolutely get it.
Yeah. Wow. So
how many are going?
Our team is. There's 4 adults and then 40 kids.
40.
40 airfare to.
Oh my gosh!
Budget is roughly $45,000.
Wow. Did you get an airline to comp your air tickets?
No.
Come
we get some good
doing.
Rates, but nothing's comped.
You got to go to Southwest and say, "Hey, come on, this is for the kids." Well, and you're right because fundraising is not hard. Who has to do the fundraising? You guys?
Oh wow!
Oh,
Lynn.
That's a Lynn waves their hand. Well, interesting. So, you must have enough to send them, otherwise.
We do. Yep, we've actually had an incredibly successful.
They just don't get to eat. Is that basically what it amounts to?
We've had a really, really successful campaign, so it's been
great.
Anybody to thank in particular?
Yeah, feel free. Any heavy hitters that wrote a check?
Oh boy, right off the top of my head. I know our first sergeant actually donated a ton of money personally.
Okay, well,
have to get back to you on
well, here's what we're going to do here, because this is only the first of many of. I mean, when we get ready to do this again next, or how many times do you have this competition? Once a year?
So nationals only happens once a year.
Okay, I will help you next year with fundraising, and I know some people.
He knows some people, Eric.
I know some
I'm
people.
sure you know of a lot of people.
And I know some people with lots of money.
It wouldn't be his co-host Britney sitting across from him.
No, and it wouldn't be me, but I know some people with some money that we'll make sure, that we keep this program up and alive and running, because once you get rid of, but it's also good for them to continually fundraise.
Absolutely.
Because that's part of it. I do 6 hours of radio, and to keep the show on the road, I got to sell airtime, right? Well, if you're chicken and you don't want to sell yourself, well, then you've got a problem in your hands, and that's really what it amounts to. People tell me all the time, "Oh, I'm terrible at sales." I said, "You've been selling since you were 3." They go, "What are you talking about?" I says, "If you needed a doll or you wanted a truck and your mom and dad wouldn't give it to you, guess what? Did you leave them alone, or did you beat them up till you got the doll or the truck?" "Oh, yeah, I guess you're right after all." So we all have the ability to sell.
Absolutely.
It's just the motivation behind it that will make that happen. So can you remember any of your sponsors that are going to get you there? No, you don't either. Okay, a rule of thumb is whenever you know you're going to be on media, which means we got to bring you back, because we are going to bring you back after the competition.
Ooh, I like that idea.
So we're going to bring you back. We're going to good, bad, or indifferent, because we do this to race drivers.
Yes.
But good, bad, or indifferent, we'll bring you back, and then that way you'll have a list of who your sponsors were that got you there. Yeah. And I have to tell you a little trade secret. Brittany and I have this thing that every time we interview somebody.
Just happened with the drag racer.
I know, Matt Hagan. We do motorsports.
Right.
If we interview you, there's about honest to goodness, a 95% chance you'll win.
It just happened last week.
It's weird as can be. And we've talked to a lot of motorsports people.
Like Top Fuel drag racer.
Yeah, and NASCAR and
IndyCar.
And
he won last week.
They win. It's the weirdest thing. And then they'll want to keep bugging me. But we definitely want to have you back.
I'll take your word on that, sir.
Yeah, take my word.
I'll take your word on that.
It's on record.
It's on record. It's
out there.
I can show you text. It gives me goosebumps just thinking about it. But so fundraising, Patrick Henry High School, care of NJROTC.
NJROTC.
You'll get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, just get there.
Put some letters down there.
Any amount was fine. Anything from $1 million up is just all we need. Yeah. All right. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, a whole lot more right here on YAK Radio with Dave Stahl and Britney Sandoval. FM 96.1 AM 1170.
The Answer.
All right, folks, welcome back. You're listening to YAK Radio with Dave Stahl right here on FM 96.1 AM 1170.
The Answer.
All right, we got 3 very special guests in the house. We got Eric Wever, and we got Faith and Lynn from the JROTC, which is Junior. What's the R stand for?
Reserve Officer Training Corps.
Bingo. And this is the Navy side of it?
Correct.
Okay. Now, is there an Army and a Marine?
There is.
An Air Force?
So San Diego Unified, there's, I think, 13 schools, and they're spread out.
Okay.
They're a mix of all the different services.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in this hour of class that you guys take once a day, do the topics change every day? What kind of give me an idea? Like on Mondays, are they set? Mondays, you're going to learn this?
So we do have a set schedule for the week. Mondays, we do just like normal PE, PT kind of stuff, like running. Tuesdays are our uniform days. So in ROTC, we do wear the service uniforms, but they have like the little ROTC patch to kind of differentiate from the actual, what's the word? Active duty.
Oh, gotcha.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And then on Wednesdays, we learn military drill. And then Thursday is a academic day as well. We learn either naval knowledge, or our lessons are kind of determined by the instructors. So the topics vary.
Sure.
And then Fridays, it's a sports day or a weight room day.
Okay. So I have to ask this because I was in Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts, Explorer Scouts. And when I was in school, we always used to get harassed when we wore our uniforms into school. Has that gone away, or do you still get a little bit of that?
There's definitely still a little bit, but I think after you're in the program for so long, I think it stops getting to you after a while.
Yeah.
I would say that there are some moments where kids will have rows of medals and like just things that signify the accomplishments that they have made on their uniforms. So it gets to a point where you're like, look at all the medals I have. And you're kind of walking around during class and like you jingle and jangle like a wind chime. We call them wind chimes.
Do you really?
And they're just, I mean, it there's that point, but at the same time, what doesn't?
Yeah. See, ours was merit badges. We'd wear a sash and then you'd have a merit badge. We didn't jingle. That's what we should have.
Girl Scouts, we didn't either. So the patch on.
We should have jingled.
Oh,
just think,
wind chimes.
I think the jingling is the way to go. But, and I think that, because I always wore my uniform. I didn't care what anybody said about me. I'm wearing this uniform because I never had so much fun in my life than going through these programs. No different than what you're doing as well. So your week is pretty good, and you get a grade, and it's accredited class. So if you do decide to go to college or the Naval Academy or whatever the case may be, all of this will help you get to where you need to go.
I believe so, yeah. I don't know anyone our personal year, but alumni from the past, they've taken this class, they've stayed in it for 4 years, they maintain their grades, and still we're just a well-rounded person as a whole. And I know one person that got into the Naval Academy because of their connection to this program. And I think no matter where you're going, you always have some certain opportunities that other classes won't offer you, like physical education, just regular PE. And then, like, if people wanted to go into the military, which we don't typically advocate, but we just know, like, there's the option for you. Yeah. There's chances for them to really get recruiters and really get to know those people.
Well, being ex-military myself, not knowing anything about it when I went in, by the fact that I was in and I joined, I didn't get drafted, I joined. And what I learned while I was in is unbelievable. I mean, I wouldn't be the person I am today if I hadn't joined the military. And I agree with you. Not everybody's cut out for military, nor is everybody cut out for college, nor, there's people but what this is doing, I can tell, is giving you options that you wouldn't have gotten if you hadn't have gone. You'd have just been two girls running around campus having a good time and maybe getting into debates and what have you. But I think this is a very, very important tool. How do people get into your program? I mean, do they have to pass a test? Do they have to write a check?
It's honestly the easiest thing. It's just like filling out your articulation card, check off ROTC rather than PE, and then you just see where it takes you.
My 8th graders right now, about a month ago, had the opportunity to write down what classes they hope to have next year.
Right.
And in the box, there was their program or PE.
Wow. Yeah. Or PE.
Yeah. So they came in, sorry?
Oh, no, sorry. Go ahead.
So they came to Lewis and
put
on a nice presentation. You could see the leadership skills. You could see their family, kind of that community that they've built. They all have each other's back. You could see the physical side with the challenge. And they did some of their routines. They performed some of the routines. And then we said, hey, and that's an option for you all, for the 8th graders.
And that's no pressure.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's a 2-year. The first 2 years are a complete. In California, you have to do either 2 years of PE or this meets the PE requirement.
Oh, I see.
So it's an alternate to it.
And you even said to my students, if you enroll and you don't like it, you can get out of the program.
Right.
It's not likely to happen, but
we make it really easy to go back.
How many people really drop out?
We do have a few that is just a round peg square hole sort of thing. But
that's the military, isn't
right,
it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But after the first 2 years, then it's a choice they make. They don't have to do it. So
right.
That's where you really see them take off.
Yeah. Now, am I correct in that you have your own kind of sports teams as well, or not? The physical aspect of it.
Well, there's just as part of the competition. There's a sports team, so they compete in push-ups, sit-ups, and then there's some races that they do.
And the question I had for every period, because I wanted my students to know, is you can be on a team. It's a lot of time management and a big responsibility, but you can be a part of this program and be on the water polo team or the track team.
Sure.
I didn't want them to think they had to pick between one or the other. My jocks,
Yeah, we have a lot of students that are both. They're in ROTC, and then they do maybe just for the one period a day instead of like these two that are there all the time.
Wow.
Running things, but then they're still on the football team. We had a number of football players this year, and water polo players, dance kids on the dance team. So yeah,
and it's interesting that you're the instructor, but you're not in charge.
No, that's the
big delegator.
That's the amazing thing about it is it's a student run.
I know.
We give guidelines and
Sure.
parameters, but really the day-to-day class is largely cadet run.
Well, I can tell you these two right here at the age, I mean, they could run a business. I'm serious. I mean, I bet you if you gave them a business, they could probably run it. And I think one of your major skills would be people skills.
Well, I love that she brought up the fact that they needed to bond, that it was really important to have that chemistry. And I'm also trying not to laugh out loud when she keeps calling them kids. Sorry.
They are my kids. They're basically my children.
It's a term of endearment. But
I mean, they're literally like a few years younger than me. Maybe not even a year younger than me. But I look at them and I'm like, I see so much in you guys, and I'm so
Isn't it?
so
18
happy
saying this, recognizing it.
Now,
and
did you feel that way before you got into this program? Did you look at people
Your peers?
with that type of a look?
No, I mean, I never really looked at older kids and I said, I didn't look at younger kids, and I was like, I mean, I just saw them as younger kids, and you know, sometimes they can be
Annoying.
I didn't want to say the word, but they can be annoying.
No, we've been around a long time. We know what annoying can be.
I'm around 220 regularly. She oozes leadership.
Well, they both do. They both do.
Yeah.
This one over here is a little quieter.
Well, I know, but you know what? It's actions speak louder than words, and she gets it done.
Is that what it is? Here she grabs it.
I think so. I think I'm just a little nervous still being on the show, but
I
definitely talk a lot more.
I could not tell.
Well, I tell you what, I bet you when you speak to your group, they listen.
I hope so.
You would know if they did.
I think they do.
And I think that's another great learning experience.
Huge.
You know, instead of having, you know, the instructor, you know, doing all the talking.
Yeah.
But when it comes from the peers, even if we may be a year or two older, the kids listen.
Yeah.
You know, they do listen because you're walking and talking their lives as well.
You're in their shoes.
You're in their shoes. And, you know, us old folks, we can say what we want, and you just take it with a grain of salt, and you keep what you want, and you throw out what you don't need. Right, Teach?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that happens.
You think that happens on occasion?
Occasionally, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess the next question is, how far are you going to go with this program? Do you think you might go in the military or no?
I did consider it for a point of time, but I am not. I'm currently planning to go to college at the University of California, Irvine.
What are you going to study? What are you going to study for?
I'm going to study public health and then possibly go down the pre-med kind of path. Yeah.
Can you cut a frog open without getting sick?
Maybe. I can hold it together. For that time, and then I'll get sick afterwards.
Oh, I couldn't do it. I like little frogs.
But I think even though I'm not going into the military, I think the program still has given me so much for my future.
Yeah.
Especially just all the support that the instructors give us in terms of just helping us through any like college stuff that we needed. I know sometimes I would. Like Commander, I would just talk to him about college options and he would like give me advice. So it's been a very valuable experience, even though I'm not going into the Navy or the Air Force or anything like that.
Well, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, because once you go in and you spend, 20 years?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
The benefits are endless, and you're still young. You could start a second career. My wife works for Spay Wars and SAIC. She's got guys in there that's got 2 or 3 retirements.
Absolutely.
So there are, I'm just saying, research it all out and you'll be surprised. How about you? I just had to ask.
I'm still unsure. Okay. For me, it's like a financial thing. I actually, speaking to what you were talking about earlier with like kids balancing things, I currently work 2 jobs at the moment, just because I over quarantine, I was like, I need some experience. I need to get out there. Yeah. So I not only was focusing on my academic stuff, I was looking for real life skills, like talking to people, making sure that I understand how to communicate and work well with other people.
So you got into retail someplace?
Food industry. Even worse. But
as a waitress?
As a waitress, basically, yes.
I have to tell you, you're going to love this. I've had two, not one, but two different times, waitresses from the industry.
Nice. On YAK Radio,
on this radio. And we talked, and they were a lot older than you, both of them. And we talked about life experiences, and we've all agreed everybody should be a waiter or a waitress.
At least once in their life.
For 1 year. Just one. Half of them would never make a year, right?
No.
Because you can look at the look on our face. That's a show just in itself.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's good. But like I always say, and thanks to folks like Eric and the program, you just got to look at everything, you know, and then make a decision. And it's got to be your decision.
100%.
100%. Your mom and dad really, I mean, they really can't get involved because it really has to be, it's got to be something you want to do. I had a good friend of mine. His mom and dad wanted him to be a doctor. So he's studying and studying and studying. Then one night his dad walked into his room at like 2 a.m. and he's cutting a video of a band that he did. And his dad says, "What are you doing?" He says, "I'm cutting this video." And he says, "Do you enjoy that?" "Oh, Dad, I love this more than I love anything in the world." "Well, then what are you going to med school for?" He said, "Because you told me that you and Mom want me to be a doctor." So he dumped it, and now he's doing extremely well in that field. So, but you guys seem pretty sharp that you realize that no one's going to influence you except you, right?
I just find it funny that you're talking about the bands and everything, because I feel like there are little outlets here and there that the program offered me where I got to dive into what I love, and one of them is singing, actually. And so I have been the designated national anthem singer for the past 4 years I've been in the program.
Got goosebumps again.
And so they're like, "We need someone to sing national anthem. Faith, you're up."
You're
I'm
up.
like, "All right."
She should do it at graduation.
She should.
I hope so. It's like a good little.
Put that in someone's ear in the front office.
Let's get her a gig on Sprung Monkey.
Singing the national anthem?
Or singing something. Yeah, it's a cute name for a band, isn't it? Sprung Monkey.
Sprung Monkey, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of cute.
Yeah,
all right, let's take a break. We have to take a break. Because we have to.
But we still get them for one more segment.
Yeah, one more segment. This will be a recap, folks. We're going to tell you how to go about it, where to send your kids, donate, do whatever you can to help the youth, because somebody's got to. This is YAK Radio on FM 96.1, AM 1170.
The Answer.
All right, folks, welcome back to YAK Radio with Dave Stahl on FM 96.1, AM 1170.
The Answer.
Have you noticed I haven't done a commercial?
I have. I thought,
yeah,
maybe he runs this different than Racer Radio.
Well, I think this is an important show, and I didn't want to, clutter it with money-making opportunities for me.
Oh, is that it?
So I can buy this airtime and give you the lovely gifts that I do whenever I have the opportunity.
Chocolate bars, pens.
Yeah.
Bacon.
Oh, my gosh.
He sent me 5 pounds of bacon for my birthday. What? Yeah. Amazing bacon. Newski's. Thank you.
Newski's from Wisconsin.
Yeah, it's amazing bacon.
Well, when she races, she goes through what? How many pounds?
We travel with 3 pounds of bacon. You want to park next to me in the pits.
Yeah. It smells good and it tastes good.
Delicious.
Everything tastes better at a racetrack anyway. All right. So tell us about this wonderful group you brought in.
Oh, my gosh. I love these ladies so much. Faith and Lynn. I don't know where, how, who, like what you're going to end up doing, but you are going to be successful.
Oh my gosh!
Off air, where Dave and I are talking about how we just ended up doing what we're doing, whether it's radio, racing, teaching, all that. None of it really was a plan, but I think both of us always offered our best and pushed ourselves, and were willing to try.
Exactly.
Try stuff. And you are right there. You ladies are right there. And thank you, Eric, for introducing us to these 2 young ladies. And I know you have a lot of people. You are with a lot of people that are the same way. This program's amazing. When they come to Lewis, it's just so fun to watch these kids step up and take over. They take over the hour.
And Eric, did you ever think you'd be teaching a course like this?
No, in fact, I like to tell how I got into this.
Sure.
So when my son's actually in the program. He's a senior this year, and when he was a freshman, he said, "Hey, I want to do this," and I had the reaction kind of you had. It's like he was a little bit of a geeky kid, and I thought, "Oh my gosh, you're going to end up just getting tormented."
Yeah.
All 4 years of high school, but I kept my mouth shut. Amazingly, that's not my strength.
You are a commander.
I kept my mouth shut, and then over the course of the years, I just saw how amazing the program was, and I totally changed my opinion of it. And so when the position opened up, I jumped on it.
Well, and this opens the door to the program to parents that see an opportunity. Encourage your kids to at least look at it.
I absolutely support that.
Yeah. Now, for you two girls, did anybody have to twist your arm, or was it just a decision you both made on your own?
I think it's very important to have friends and people that you know that are interested in it, because you'd honestly never really try it.
Right.
But I think just sharing that with other people and then beginning to create friendships with other people that were also interested in it.
Right.
It kind of creates like that even stronger bonds. And like you were talking about Jack, I would have never thought that I would have been so close to Jack and like see his accomplishments and learn to really be happy for him in the way that I am. But I think it wouldn't have happened if we weren't in the same program, honestly.
Well, isn't that really what the military is all about?
It is. It's absolutely a family, at least at the best units.
Yeah.
Sometimes you go somewhere where it's not like that, but for the most part, it
is. And when you're in the military, your guys and your girls are part of family. You'll do anything in the world for them. You can be mad at them, but if you're in a situation where they need your help or need your protection, they'll get it. Because it's a bond. It's a bond you can't explain.
Absolutely.
And I think both you guys kind of feel that same way, right?
Most definitely. I feel like I don't know how my high school career would have been if I didn't have this program and didn't have these people by my side. They really are with you through thick and thin.
And to think you're a commander?
Yeah.
Is that a little bit kind of a mind blower when you stop and think about it?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Sometimes I think about it. I was like, how did I even get here? But
well, our paths are kind of laid out, and decisions are really what it's all about. It's the decision you will make whenever a crossroad comes up, and the only one, like I said, is because you need this? Oh. The only one that could really make that decision is you guys.
Sure. So
talking to the kids out there, I'll let you talk first, and that was where I get my notes here perfectly. Lynn, what would be advice you'd give kids that are even maybe looking at the program or haven't even done it?
I think just don't be scared of it. I feel like a lot of people get intimidated. They're like, oh, this is the military, and like they're going to be so strict on me, and the instructors are going to like yell at me all the time. It's really not that. I feel like it's a very welcoming community, and we try to foster this sense of family within the program, and you'll always have people who support you. You have people that you can rely on, and just don't be afraid to take that leap. I think that's my biggest piece of advice.
And how about you, Faith?
I think for anybody that's even like hesitant about it, you just got to know that you will never know unless you actually try to do it. And so I mean, if I didn't do this program, I don't think I would be so... I couldn't talk on this radio show, first of all, and I don't think I could be... Well, because the thing is, the program holds probably some of the smartest kids in the whole school.
Yeah.
Some of the most disciplined, yet also funny and like talented.
Sure.
And so, I mean, you just meet so many great people that you will not want to miss out on.
Right.
And so, just... if you don't try it out, you're never going to know how it really feels, So
now, do they have to go to Patrick Henry High School to get into this program, or can they rotate in? How does that work?
Well, so for our program, yes, it's only students from Patrick Henry. But
okay, but other schools
there
have
are other
them?
Schools that have the same, that have a similar program.
Go talk to a counselor would probably be the best advice.
Yep.
And
so it's just part of the check-in process when you're coming in as a freshman. I think all the schools would have the same opportunity.
Go ahead, Faith.
And one of the cool things, actually, is so when you go to these field meets or competitions, you get to meet other schools there that are in the program. And so you not only have friends in Patrick Henry, you have friends all across Southern California. I know we're going to nationals with Troy High School, and we're so excited to see them and like congratulate them, even though we were technically competing with them. It's more like we're so proud of you guys, and we cannot wait to represent West Coast with you.
Well, isn't that what teamwork's all about? You know, I mean, you want the best to win, you know, and hopefully that's you. But if not, you want to honor the people that went up against you because they were working just as hard as you were, and you just happen to be a tad bit more talented, which I know you're going to win. Do you get a big trophy?
Oh yes, I
mean, the trophies at these things are a little out of control.
we don't have enough space.
I was going to say you're going to have to ship it home in a box.
It's crazy.
So go ahead, Lynn.
I think even the second place trophy for our like regional competition, I think it's taller than us. It's either taller than us or like the same height as me.
Goodness, great! You guys got a spot at the school.
They're just in our classrooms. I mean, we have so many. This team has been rock stars for a number of years, so the classroom is pretty much overrun with them.
I was going to say the custodian probably says, "What? I have to dust these things? I'm not dusting these things." Well, I think it's such a great program, and you've just got to be proud as can be.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean,
especially coming out of the COVID years, and I'm so happy for the seniors. They were 2 weeks away from going 2 years ago when COVID happened. So for them to come from where they were, and as they talked about, the start of the year was pretty rough. And for them to keep their chins up and keep working hard, seeing where they're at now is really cool.
Yeah. Well, we wish you the best. We know you're going to have fun. We're definitely going to get you back in after the competition. And one of the three of you will remember who your sponsors are by the time you come back, so we can make sure we give the love to the ones that got you there, because that's extremely important. And, you know, I'm so happy and proud of both of you.
Yeah, they're amazing.
I just can't thank you enough. And we really got to talk about the parents as well.
I was about to say.
Well, your mom is here, but, you know, the parents, if they're not supportive of it, you know, next time we come in, watch this. We'll put her on.
Oh, she's going to love that.
Oh, look at that face.
She will be so
she'll
excited.
Talk. She's a talker?
Oh, yeah.
So if I had another hour, all I'd have to do is give her another.
She's already giggling.
And she would be rocking and rolling, right?
I mean, the parents, they drive us to the school at 4 a.m. They drive us to every practice, drive us home from practices. Wow. We'll carpool other kids because they know that they're also going to practice. Sure. Sometimes my mom's going to be ironing my uniform the morning of inspection. I'm sorry, sir. And so, I mean,
came out.
She will do everything, and she's been doing it since my freshman year, and I love her so much.
Well,
and she really supports us a
Lynn
lot.
had her finger up. So.
Yeah. Just to add on to that, I think parents that are supportive, they really are like the backbone to like what makes our team so successful. I know one of the like more successful teams like in our region, they have like a huge parent like support, and it really it helps so much. Like I know my mom, like on competition days, like when my hair has to be all up and like gelled back, we wake up at like 3:30 in the morning to like literally slick everything back.
Well, we gotta go. I hate to say it, but the show's over.
Yes.
Eric, thank you very, very much. Again, we sure appreciate you coming in. And yes, we will have you in after competition.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having
pressure.
us.
Right here on YAK Radio with Dave Stahl, FM 96.1 AM 1170.
The answer.